The people that got hit by this car.
Law enforcement reviewing this surveillance footage this morning, showing the driver slowly approaching Bourbon and Canal Street around 3:15 a.m. New Year's Day before he takes a sharp right turn, driving onto the sidewalk, plowing into pedestrians, killing 15, injuring scores of others.
You just heard this squeal and like the rev of an engine and then this huge loud impact and then the people screaming.
I have at least 6 casualties. I have an officer doing chest compressions on one.
Authorities say the attacker wore body armor and fired an AR-style rifle out of the truck for 3 blocks before crashing into this construction vehicle. Seconds later, more gunshots. Officers returning fire, killing the suspect. Witnesses seen rushing towards the victims to try and help as officers run past them with their rifles drawn. Zion Parsons saw the truck just before running for cover, only to learn his friend had been killed.
I'm moving people out of the way to try to find her. I'm saying, nah, like, where is she? And I turn my head, and it's her in the street.
Sources tell ABC News the Ford F-150 truck contained multiple homemade pipe bombs packed with nails, and on the back of the truck bed, a pole wrapped in a gray jacket with an ISIS flag.
He was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did.
Jimmy Cothran was with his friends celebrating the new year.
What we saw was insanity. I mean, something out of a movie. The graphic nature of it, and it was unbelievable.
Literally no barricades were up on any of the streets all night long.
Authorities identifying the suspect as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S.-born citizen and Army veteran from Texas. The vehicle he allegedly used as a weapon was rented in Texas through the car-sharing app Turo. The company saying they are cooperating with law enforcement. Authorities also investigating an Airbnb rental tied to the suspect after reports of a small fire at the location. Sources confirming bomb-making materials were found in the residence.
Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Metal Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello.
Overnight, ABC News learning he had posted videos online in recent years promoting his real estate business. He was an employee for the consulting firm Deloitte since 2021. The company saying they are outraged by this shameful and senseless act of violence. Now, investigators exploring the possibility that others may have been involved.
We do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. We are aggressively running down every lead, including those of his known associates.
This morning, Bourbon Street remains a crime scene, the most crowded area in a city that's set to host the Sugar Bowl tonight and the Super Bowl next month. Now, growing questions about security and why bollards and barricades were not properly set up. Officials say after multiple malfunctions, they were in the process of being replaced. Patrol cars were instead meant to block traffic. A tragic failure as the suspect was able to drive on the sidewalk.
We had barriers there, we had officers there, and they still got around. So we did indeed have a plan, but the terrorist defeated it.
Some city officials say they questioned the construction's timeline earlier this week.
This construction should have happened much earlier, and everything really should have been ready and in place, fixed, repaired, ready to go now.
As investigators try to uncover the motive behind the attack, we're learning more about the victims.
There's bad people, but there's so many more good people in the world, and Reggie was a good person.
37-year-old Reggie Hunter was a loving father of 2 young boys. His cousin, Sherelle Jackson, tells me she had the agonizing task of identifying his body at the hospital on New Year's Day.
I said a prayer before I got ready to go in, like, God, give me strength to be able to do this. I held his hand. I told him that I loved him. I'm so sorry that this happened, and we're going to keep your memory alive.
And Sherelle tells me she was actually exchanging text messages with Reggie as he was celebrating here on Bourbon Street that night. The last text message came in at 12:07 a.m. wishing her and her family a happy new year. Again, this city is trying to do 2 very difficult things at once: investigate this attack while also welcoming tens of thousands of people for the Sugar Bowl later today. Authorities insist that game will be safe to attend.